Greetings all on this Sunday, the day of the sun. It's Claudia Manchanda, medical herbalist, and I'm here to talk about some of the medicine of a very, very special fungi. So here we have earth stars, or as in Turtle Island they're called cactus or fallen stars, and they're the fruiting body of Geastrum. I think this species is called Geastrum triplex. Geo means earth, and if it has an astro or astr, it refers to stars, and the triplex means threefold. They exist in leafy humus, especially under beech trees and other deciduous trees, often on slopes in chalky soil. These fungi are absolutely captivating. And they're often associated with mystical events. They're used in medicine, and in particular these ones, they don't taste really that good. I mean, if you are going to eat them, which you probably won't in this country because they're endangered, but if one was to eat them, you pick them when they're at the egg phase, and they're distantly related to puffballs, and if you cut them in the middle, they have the same texture as young puffballs. Yes, so they have like sort of a white spongy texture. The fruiting bodies of Astraeus hygrometricus mushroom, grown in the forests of Jharkhand, have an umami flavour due to the sugars, the polyols, the aspartic acid and glutamic acid, which is sort of very umami, a bit like MSG. Some earth stars are hygroscopic, and that means that they attract the moisture from the air or from the surrounding humidity and dampness, and that's why they're also named earth star barometers, because if they open up or if they close up, it's an indicator for the weather. And these particular ones aren't so responsive to temperature changes, to moisture changes rather. So these mushrooms contain quite interesting chemicals. They contain sterols, and they contain a chemical, a dihydroergosterol, that's a precursor to vitamin D2. And many mushrooms are contain vitamin D2, especially if they're exposed to sunlight. And it's different to the vitamin D3, mind you. And there's a drug that's been synthesized from the study of the sterols in this fungus, and it's an anti-protozoal drug. The fruiting bodies also contain numerous fatty acids, including essential fatty acids, alpha linoleic acid and linoleic acid, and they're essential fatty acids that we can't make in our body, and that's why they're called essential. It means we have to take them from our diet, and they are antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, amazing for our nervous systems, really important sort of fat that's sort of missing from a lot of our diets. The powdered fruiting body of this area, the ball, has been used to keep the umbilical cord area sterile after babies are born, and it's dried and powdered, so it's put around until the kind of umbilical cord is dried and shriveled up. In Chinese medicine, its properties are called pungent and detoxifying. It's a bit different than what that means in Western medicine, and its affinities are for the throat and the lungs, although it's also used for eyes in a lot of traditional medicine systems. It's also hemostatic, and again it's dried up and put into a powder and used to stop bleeding, and specifically bleeding where there's coughing up of blood near the throat. the chemicals called heteroglucans have demonstrated significant anti-tumour activity on various cell lines, increasing programmed cell death called apoptosis, and also shrinking tumour size in horrible lab studies. The heteroglucans are also anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and inhibit something called nitric oxide synthase and cyclooxygenase that are involved in inflammatory conditions. So medicinally, the mushroom is made, it's dried out, it can be made into decoctions. I think the ratio is around 3 grams of dried mushroom per litre. It's made into powders to add to Chinese prescription capsules. I know that some herbalists used it in at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. It's also can be made into decocted tinctures, as many mushrooms can. I just can't say it enough. Tread carefully, watch where you're going when you're in the forest, and check endangered status, because these are really special and rare mushrooms. Yeah, thank you.